Hello, my name is Scott for SB Gaming and welcome to an early preview of Mashinky. This is a game that is currently, as you can read on the screen, still heavily in development. It is entering early access on Friday, October 6th. I'm recording this video a few days early. I want to thank the developer Jan for sending me a copy so that I can present this on the channel. With that in mind, early access is early access. This video is not a review. It is just a preview and presentation with my thoughts thrown in. As you can see, not yet finished. There is going to be multiplayer. There is a train driver mode. We can still ride along with the trains, but we should be able to drive them ourselves. There is also going to be placeholder graphics or text, so take that for what it is. The final game will include 7 eras from the steam age to the future, 16 different cargo types, and 21 industries, over 25 railway engines, and 40 different wagons, more stories, quests, challenges, and game events, player-controlled trains, multiplayer for up to 8 players, and of course, mod support, and many other things. I didn't have a chance to ask the developer yet where the best place for players to offer feedback and suggestions, but I will try to get to that, and of course, update you appropriately. Anyway, let's jump into the game. And so, yeah, about this. This episode, and probably I'm going to do a two-parter, is going to be just a preview with a basic game. Let's check the settings here. I have this all on FAA. Really, this is ambient occlusion. The depth of field, I'm going to turn that off for now. I think I know what that does. Distance or details, actually. Yep, about that. Autosave. Control scheme. I don't quite like the default control scheme. I don't know what the alternative control scheme is. We'll keep it on default because I'm a little bit more used to that. Anyway, that is the settings. So we are going to start a new game. And for this preview, I am just going to go with, no, not high density. Actually, we can go advanced. Normal difficulty. Yeah, sure, let's turn on the tutorial. Random quests enabled. Error progression method, pay or date. Starting loan is 1,000, additional loan 1,000. So we want to take that into account. Loan interest is 2. This amount is paid yearly for every 100 money tokens borrowed. Fuel cost, default. Yeah, auto, sure. All right, only 1 depot. Restricts the player to a maximum of 1 depot. Wow. All right about that. That's a little epic. Anyway, we are going to go with the smallest maps, which is 128 by 128. And the maximum is 512. Low density hills, forests, we're going to just go low density. Industry, we'll stick with medium density. Towns, medium density. Lakes are going to be low density, although we can go high density. No, for now we're just going to go low density because we want something simple and easy for our first game. Anyway, let's start. All right, we are going to just pause it. And welcome to Mashinky. You are the owner of a tiny transport company. To succeed, you will have to build tracks, research and buy the latest vehicles, transport goods and passengers. The goal is to build a transport empire and earn as many tokens as possible. Good luck. This is your first quest. Here you'll learn about the different types of quests in Mashinky. When you've completed it, we'll move on to the game controls and the basics. Click on the OK button to read about quests and collect your first reward. Plus $10, we start off with $1,057, and these are the various quests that we have available to us. So let's press the OK button. And so quests, on the left side you can see a list of the quests. Each type of quest is different. Red is error quests, which is this. Completing these quests will advance the game to the next era. Event quests are in orange. Big quests, which are part of this storyline. These might differ depending on your choices. Green is tutorial quests. If you have the tutorial turned off, I don't think those will show up, but they explain new functions or reveal some of Mashinky's secrets. Blue is sandbox quests. These are individually generated tasks on the map. And click the plus 10 cash dollars to button to collect the reward. Camera control. First we need to know how to move around. I was considering not having the tutorial, but you know what? We're going to get some money, additional money for it. So zoom out by mouse wheel down, like that. And we need to know how to move around. Let's start zooming in with the camera. Zoom in. That was easy. Yes, indeed. Press and hold the middle mouse button while moving your mouse sideways, or use control while moving the mouse. So that or control. Okay, how about that? Great, now we know how to rotate. Although I really wish that Q and E could rotate the camera. I don't like this mouse rotating. I don't like it at all. So about that. Can hold the right mouse button and move the mouse to move the camera. So like that, or you can use the WASD keys. Yeah, you can use the WASD keys to move the camera around, but I would like the Q and E key, like we have in, I think it's Transport Fever, to adjust the camera. So about that. So 30 extra dollars for us. Terrain editing. The first thing we'll do is create a nice hill. You'll need to modify the terrain a lot. Building railways and infrastructure all need the right terrain for construction. And we can move that over here. So ensure that you've switched the construction mode by pressing spacebar. I would like to hotkey spacebar to be the pause. It is, of course, the 1 key. If we hover over here, pause game is 1, normal game speed is 2. So about that. It takes a little bit to get used to, but we want this, and we go into a grid-based system for building. And we want the bulldozer tool, and we want the terrain up. And now for the cost of 3, we are going to raise and create a hill. So if we jump out of there, that's what we built. And we get an extra $40. So yeah, about that. Pay 3 to get 40. Sure, no problem. And so the first line, Mashinky is all about railways. The simplest railway line is between 2 stations connected with a depot. Railway, station, depot. Let's start by building a line and transporting passengers between Derby and Coventry. So Derby is over here and Coventry is over here. So not that far away. And so we need to be in construction mode. First, open the railway tools. Yep. Click on the station tool. Place station by clicking and dragging the left mouse button on flat land near the town. So we can, unfortunately, we cannot destroy any of the buildings in town. So, about that. So we're not going to be able to, say, put the station here. I did not want to do that. Seriously. Bother, I don't want it there. But we do get the money back, so that is something. Alright, so where do we want to build the station then? We can only build the stations vertically or horizontally. You can right click to cancel. We cannot put them diagonally, so it is what it is. So we want to build a station, and the catchment area is 2 away from the tracks and 1 from the end, or 2 from this end. So about that. So we will want to put as many. We can take out the roads. If we put it, say, here, it will be next to the forest near Derby as well. Actually, let's build it right here. And then we are going to do a station near Coventry. Now, if we were thinking about future expansion, we have this over here. We could bring this down to Derby, and then this around to Telford, or maybe a line down like this. Coventry, I'm thinking from here up to Coventry, and then onwards maybe to wherever that is, Nottingham, maybe down here, maybe across like that. So I am going to want to put the station, say, right about there. And that costs 60. And this is blinking for some reason. Alright, so that if we want to move on early Steam Age, we need to invest 100 planks and 100 coal. And this is what I found interesting about the game. So yeah, there's different currencies which you can use to buy different things. So we are going to need to, of course, connect this up. We have a sawmill here near Derby. This is just a passenger line, yet we're not going to want to connect that on. To build, you select one of the spaces in between two adjacent squares, and you just click and drag. So we are going to right there, and actually it does cost more, so that's 1 per square. It costs more to go through the forests here, so we're going to want to avoid the forests. I am going to run this like that, and we are going to avoid the forest. Let's just go like that, and we are going to actually 22 to get to there, or 8 to get to there. Let's just go 6, and then we want to get down to here. No. Let's just go to here, another 6, and then connect that up, 12. So that is a new line between Coventry and the Derby. We can also load goods on to the station with the forest, but yeah, that might be a little awkward. Alright about that. So now we just need a open the railroad tools, and it's highlighted. Let's add a depot. Alright. Yep. And we want the depot icon. Place the depot on the map. I'm going to throw it here, I think. And it costs... Yep, we also have to buy the... Yep. Because what I might do is I might extend the road like that, but not right now. Alright, open the depot to open the engines tab. You can buy, first line, you buy an engine by clicking on it. Let's do it now. Buy a 260 Porter. We have 1,067. Let's buy one of those. And the wagons tab, buy 3 Pullmans. This is going to be way more capacity than we actually need. 24 capacity, we will buy it. Each one of those is 10. The Pullman is 40. So we spent a total of 70 on this train. And now, on simple lines with 2 stations, trains can automatically calculate routes according to the carriages or wagons attached. So for now, you just need to start your new train. It'll take a few seconds to warm up, release the brakes, and move on. Click on that to start it. Now, with that said, we can specify where we want the train to go, which I am going to do because I've done this before, and a train I thought was going to go where I thought it was going to go ended up not going where I wanted to go. Every time you want to add a station, you have to click this button again. It gets deselected, so you can't do it like in Train Fever. Select the button, click on that, and you're done. No, you have to click on that button each time. So it's something to get used to, let's just say. Anyway, we can hit the start button, and let's hop out of construction mode and hit the play button and check out our new train. Speed up to speed 2 to get out of the depot. And there we go. Oh, camera. All right. And it heads off. Finish. So we get 100 credits and 20 planks. So, about that. Let's get rid of that. We want to hop aboard, and we can actually ride the train. We can switch position, which is kind of nice. And we can actually blow the whistle. We can hop back to the passenger wagon, and we are, I think, in the far passenger wagon. Oh, let's hop over to this side. Unfortunately, if you close this window out, you get kicked out for some reason. Yeah, I bet that. Let's hop over to this side. And coming into, I think it's Derby. And we have a task. First passengers. Let's hop out of that. And we have 10 people waiting here. Over here in Derby, we got 11 people waiting here. So basically, it's the number followed by what is waiting there. We have 13 logs waiting here. And unlike in a game like Transport Fever, you do not need to complete your chains. So I can deliver as much logs as I want to over to this sawmill. So yeah, about that. And actually, if I had... Actually, I could. Yeah. Actually, this works out quite well. Let's see. Railway. If I build a station, say like right here, and then it would be a simple matter to connect it on. Maybe double track this. So that is something. Another thing, this button allows you to remove individual items or track. You'll actually get your money back, which is nice. If you use, I think it's the bulldozer, it actually costs you money too. I think. Fairly certain. So we do not want to do that. So basically, yeah, I can get logs from here over to here. And then I could ship them over to a toolworks here near Paisley. So if we were to take a look at the resources, we have logs here, there, there, and there. We have a toolworks there and there, as well as there. And we have coal there, there, and 2 over there. And these icons indicate, of course, towns. So about that. Now this would work out quite well if we wanted to set up delivery for right there. Anyway, let's take a look at the first passenger's task. This is a unique opportunity for your company. There is virtually no transport infrastructure here. You should take advantage of this. I think the best thing would be to start with transporting passengers. It's a cheap way to make some money and get your company started. Abner Doubleby, consultant. Transport 50 passengers to any city, and for completing this quest, we get a reward of $100. With that in mind, we can borrow money. We can borrow up to, I think it said, 1,000 above our initial loan. Right now, what I'd like to do, since we are paying something like $2 per 100, which with this is $20 a year, I am going to repay a chunk of this. We're going to hold on to, actually none of our loan. We still have 164, and at any time we can always borrow up to 2,000. So yeah, about that. Anyway, let's yep. So if we want to advance beyond the early steam age, we have to invest 100 planks and 100 coal. Foundry extension plus 20 of whatever those dollars are. So let's let time tick. And our train, which has 24 capacity, has 10 people on it currently. And we have 14 people over here. So about that. Let's jump out to this view. And yeah, that depth of field, that makes everything look blurry. We can jump aboard and ride it on back to wherever we are going. Station 2. It currently has 18 people there, 17 logs waiting for us to pick up if we so choose to. You can see the statistics, which is 3 operating costs. We've not transported anyone. And the information, we have 5 people in the front wagon, 5 in the second, and no one in the third. We can have the train ignore the next signal, go directly to depot, or reverse. We are up to 70 of 74 miles per hour speed, horsepower of 290, overall weight is 55. Interestingly enough, if you tell it to go back to the depot, the passengers will stay on. So about that. So we get rid of the passengers and we made $10. We had 10 people, so we make 1 cash for every passenger we transport. And the round trip cost 4 cash. So about that. Originally, when I first saw this game, it was on Colonel Failure's channel, I wasn't quite sure what to think, because I've never played any of the older Transport Tycoon games. This 2D grid-based thing, compared to, of course, something like Transport Fever, is like, yeah, about that. But, you know, it has some interesting things, including, of course, the quests here. The different currencies, the fact that you can, for instance, if we go to engines, if you want a 460 Baldwin, you don't buy it with the regular dollars. You have to actually buy it with the plank currency. So about that. We have different wagons here. The Linz, which carries coal, you have to pay 16 planks for it. So I have to admit, it was a bit different than I was expecting. So about that. And we are carrying 24 people over to Coventry. So we'll go from 10 of 50 to 34 of 50. We have 24 people waiting here. That is perfect. And from my experience, the people will quickly start showing up. And you might be tempted to load another train on the line, but I find the passengers don't come quickly enough. Anyway, 34.50, which means that as soon as this train gets to, or back to Derby, we will complete that task. Let's ride aboard and speed her up. This game seems simple on the surface, but it can get pretty complex from what I can tell. And into the station. And drop off 20. Oh no, we dropped off 24. Oh, pause it. I really wish the pause was on the spacebar because I'm just used to that. Anyway, first passengers collect our reward, 100 cash dollars. Nice. We have 317. We have no loan. That is, of course, good. We are going to just want to let time tick. Eventually, we will get another task to deliver, I think it's logs to a sawmill. So about that. What I might just do, actually, here's a question. Do these have... Where's our finances? Infrastructure bought 43. Vehicles fuel 8. Loan shares 2. We don't have any expenses relating to our stations. Alright, well, I could... Since I know what is likely coming up, you know what? We're going to build another station here. I'm going to put it right there for 60 credits. And we are just going to connect this on the line right there. Now with that said, if we are going to be running a freight train, and we made some cash there. If we are going to be running a freight train, we are going to want to have signals and double tracking this. So about that. I wish I could build through here. Oh, bother. Well, we can get our money back, so not too much of a worry. Let's speed it up. And I want to wait until so we have until 1930 to get this done. Should be plenty of time. We have 24 people waiting here or on the train, 24 people waiting on the station, 14 people waiting there, up to 18, 21. And the people are just jumping to the station. Jumping for joy that there is a train. We have 318 cash dollars. And apparently we... Yeah, about that. And there we go. Delivery of logs. Let me introduce myself. I am Jack Tamiel, LMBR Deputy Co. Our company plans to invest in the development of local industry. That's why I contacted you. First, we need to deliver logs to our sawmills. Forests are everywhere around us, so there should be no problem finding them. If you succeed, we will pay you well, and we might have more work for you. The reward for delivering 100 logs is, of course, $100. So about that. So that is what we are going to do. With that in mind, we are going to definitely want to double track this. How do I want to double track this? We are going to, like that. We're going to go through that forest. And now we want to run this up like this. And now we could, if we wanted to, run this in like that, break that apart so that this train utilizes this side, and then this new train that we set up utilizes that. Or We can do a double track system, so trains go up this way, trains go that way. We are going to need to use signals. I think what I want to do is that at the very least. And now, what I'm not going to be doing is running a second train on that line. Alright, so I am just going to double track this. So we're going to do that. We are going to need signals. And we are going to put a signal there. We are going to put a signal there. We are going to want a signal there, I think. We are going to want a signal here. One there. Unlike Transport Fever, this game uses block signals rather than path signals. If I was just doing this in Transport Fever, I would build a signal here, actually no, just a signal here, signal here, signal here, and a signal here. Unfortunately, the way things work is that this is all considered one block, unless I put a signal here. So we now have a block from here to here, and a block from here to here. Now, on top of that, this is all part of this block. In Transport Fever, with the path signals, if a train was coming up this way and entered this block, a train leaving here would have to stop and wait, even though its path would take it down this way. And this train is going that way. In a path signal situation, neither train would have to stop and wait for signals, but because we are using blocks much like in Factorio rather than paths like in Transport Fever, we need a signal there. So about that. To specify which way, because we can make these double one-way signals, you have to, and actually I'll do it right here. You have to click on the side of the, oh seriously. Yeah, the Q key, which I'm always pressing to try to rotate the camera. And the E key as well is hotkeyed. And there is no way to specify the hotkey, so yeah. I accidentally destroyed, yeah, about that. Anyway, I'm going to not touch the keyboard. Now, if I want to make this a single track to force trains to go to a specific direction, I can either click on the right side and make it go that way, or I can click over here to make it go that way. If I click again on the same side, it makes it a two-way signal. So I can either like that or like that. I want it to go that way. We are going to want to have a release signal here, and we're going to want to make it go one direction that way. This we want this to be a one-way going into there, and then that goes out like that. This needs to be a one-way going like that. Unfortunately, there are no chain signals in this game like there is in Factorio. And actually, had I been thinking, this would make a lot of sense. It would make total sense, which is probably why I didn't do it. So we're going to do it. Now, yeah, we can get our money back. Let's do that, and then we want this to go like that. We are going to bring this in like that. And we are just going to get our money back, as you can see. 274, 275, 276. So yeah, if you make a mistake and you place some track, you can get rid of it to get your money back. Even if you put it a while ago, even if your trains have been using it. Apparently, as far as I know. So that is that. Now, we are going to also want... just because signal there. We're going to force it to go that way just because reasons. Plus, we also need the signal there because if we didn't have a signal here, because of the way the path signals work, the block signals work, what would end up happening is a train in here would be using this block, which would prevent our log train from coming into this platform, because this part is part of this block, so we actually need that signal there. Exactly. Now, yep, that should be good. So we have a double track system, and I would definitely love to be able to adjust because if we go into these, we don't have any. From what I can tell, let me know down in the comments if you see hotkeys or key bindings. So far, I don't see any. So yeah, about that. It would be nice to specify the hotkeys, but that's of course because this game is currently entering early access on Friday. Anyway, let's let things tick. Although with that said, delivery of logs, we are going to need to add a new engine on the line. We are going to go with a porter. We could go with Baldwin, but no, we'll go with a porter. Wagons, and unfortunately, you have to use a specific wagon carrying a specific cargo. So unfortunately, unlike Transport Fever, we can't haul logs from here over to here and then have the planks return back to here, because we'd have to have two separate wagons, which means cargo's only going in one direction. So that is a big difference. Yeah, about that. So every train is basically hauling in one direction, from a forest to a sawmill, sawmill to a tools factory, things like that. We are going to go with 3 of those, and yep, we have 94 logs sitting here. We are going to give it orders from here over to, click on the button again, over to there. So now, this train here still has its orders from here over to there. Yeah, about that. Let's get rid of that and hit the start button. And here comes our new freight train. And for those who are curious, there is only one single station type. We can, if we want to, extend the station. We can make this a freight station for the price of 80 planks. Loading speed plus 200%, capacity plus 50%. A bistro, which is passenger capacity plus 50, and income plus 25% for a cost of 100 planks and 250 cash dollars. Waiting room increases the catchment area by plus 2, loading speed plus 100%, capacity 500 or plus 500. So if we were to build that, that would be quite the possibility. So now, if we want to in the future, anyway, we can see our trains. This one's riding back on this way, that one's going on that way. In the long run, I think this is going to be a good setup with this double track. The trains will have to wait here for the train to get out there. Ideally, I would have wanted to be able to come through here, but it is what it is. And this train will be coming into here. That closes that block off. And the train will be dropping off 21 logs. Did we get any cash for that? Statistics. Transported 21 logs. Yep. So pretty much we are not making any money from the logs. Alright. With that said, we are going to make 100 cash dollars with our quest that we are given. And let's just check out our passing line. And it is working as desired. Dropping off another 21. We are up to, should be 42, yep, 42 units. And our train has yet another 24 passengers. And the trains are, indeed. At this point in time, though, what I'm probably going to do is wrap up the episode here. I will let this run. We have 300 cash dollars and 20 planks. Although, I will wait until... Do I wait until this task is done? 42 of 100. It's going to take a little bit of time. We can always speed it up to speed 4 or speed whatever this is. Maximum game speed. And it is producing planks from the logs. There is currently 40 sitting there. So about that. Anyway, at this point in time, I'm going to take a break here. We will wrap things up with a second preview episode coming up on Saturday. And then next week, I will be starting up a new Mashinky series with a more complicated map. I just wanted something simple to start off with, and this actually serves purposes quite well. It is a nice convenient setup. We are making money, we are delivering logs, and we are able to go beyond this. Anyway, thank you for joining me for this preview episode of Mashinky. Check out the link down in the description if you want more information on where you can get it, which is obviously on Steam. The link is down there. And let me know what you think. This game is inspired by Transport Tycoon, Railroad Tycoon 2, so it is what it is. It is going to be early access. I'd like to see this game succeed. Anyway, thank you for watching. My name is Scott for SB Gaming, and as always, have a good day.